All right, so aquatic monsters, Disney round. You've seen Pinocchio.
Disney round. Okay, yeah.
And you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Which would you rather face off against? Monstro, the giant monster whale from Pinocchio, or the Kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Probably Monstro.
Oh, fuck that, dude. Give me the fucking...
What?
Give me fucking tentacle monster. I don't get
Why?
I think Monstro is the beginning of my, fear of
that's
the
fair.
ocean.
Okay, alright, now keep...
Because I saw Pinocchio before I ever saw Jaws, and I had nightmares about Monstro. Monstro is, still to this day...
swallowed whole by
fucking
sperm whale.
Scares me, and he is a scary fucking cartoon, man.
He is.
No,
don't mess around.
No, man. I just the idea of this whale that just wants to eat you. I mean, again, that's a very Moby Dick thing. Yeah, dude. No, fuck. Probably, again, I'm thinking in terms of hey, Captain Jack Sparrow came back from the Kraken, so why couldn't I?
See, I'm thinking they just got swallowed whole. They made it out.
And they managed to
if that's my best bet,
yeah.
I think survival wise, if I get swallowed whole, maybe there's a chance. Whereas
you got something there.
Kraken
Monster just
I don't
scares
know.
the shit out of me. That whole chase where they're trying to get back to land, before, where
it is
the
horrifying.
whale's coming up behind him. Scary as shit.
Well, but what happens with Captain Jack Sparrow? He doesn't get swallowed. Oh, he does get swallowed.
He does
whole.
get eaten.
That's right. He goes for it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure he dies, and they use some sort of weird form of resurrection to get him back.
Yeah, I think so.
But
because there's no way he's getting swallowed whole, not as cleanly as they are.
Yeah, no.
It's just
Monstro substantially has a substantially larger belly and
nothing's
stuff.
just teeth.
Yeah, lots of.
He's just going into teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't
looks like a
survive
very
that.
Yeah, moist.
And you don't get away from it either.
No.
And they talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of there's just no escape.
I mean, there's that great scene in whatever it is, the second one. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I've lost track of all the titles.
Yeah.
It's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, right?
Yeah, one. Where the boat gets taken down by the Kraken.
Right, yeah.
And that's actually fairly terrifying.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, that's a great fucking scene.
Yeah.
I
like a lot of things about that movie. But
I do too. The first Pirates of the Caribbean is the only good Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's the only good one, and it's also the best one.
Correct. You heard it here first, folks. Welcome back to the Johnny Jawcast.
Dickhead.
Alright.
So here we are, Pirates of the Caribbean, the full series. Let's get into it.
Yeah!
They're all technically
that will be
features.
in season 15. Actually, I can honestly see a solid through line. Actually, would run out and stuff. That I could see that being a spin-off series. That there's some aquatic horror bullshit in there. I mean, there is literally
aggressive overarching
a hammerhead fucking shark dude somewhere in there. So
he's in the first one.
Yeah.
No.
He's in the Davy Jones one.
I
Why
don't
can't I
care.
think of what that one is called?
Isn't it David Jones' Locker or something?
That's what I want to keep saying, but it's not. Please, look it up. There's
talk for a second.
The fucking 6 people that watch this are screaming at us right now, going, it's blah 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 blah. Dead Men Tell No Tales is like the 4th one, 5th one. What the fuck is it called? Hurry up!
I'm trying.
I'm getting angry.
Fuck. Hold on.
IMDb!
It took me a second. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Okay, thank you.
Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End.
I knew the 3rd
I
one.
fucking hope these are in order.
Yeah, they are.
Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger Tides.
And the last one is Dead Men Tell No Tales, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Currently.
Well, there is talk of doing another Pirates movie, but it's going to be sans Johnny Depp.
Yikes. Really?
Yeah. But I mean...
He's gotta make an exit.
God damn it, I am not going on this tangent right now. Fuck! I was going to go down a full fucking tangent about how I like Captain Jack Sparrow in Curse of the Black Pearl because he's like fucking an actual person and not a caricature. I'm not doing it. Fuck! We're talking about Orca, folks! The killer whale!
How Killer Whale's not made an appearance in those movies also? I guess
How have killer whales not made an appearance in movies since fucking Free Willy?
It's the Caribbean. Are killer whales in the... I mean, they're
I don't
warm-blooded
think so.
mammals. They can go wherever they want, right?
Yeah.
Do they just not like to go there? Or do
I think they go to
is it like
space too. They
Okay.
summer in space.
Okay, alright. You're gonna be an asshole.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Johnny Jawcast. I am one of your hosts. I don't even know if we can call ourselves that. We're just a couple of drunken assholes.
I'm the host.
Oh, please take it away. You're the host. You fucking do the whole deal.
No.
Why are
I'm
you
a
scared?
host.
Fucking coward.
Yes.
I
have a different script.
I'm Johnny Horror, and you know my this fucking nincompoop over
Say
here.
nicely. Start over.
B. Rye Calvert.
Yeah.
Ew.
Heyo.
There you go. The alcohol is kicking in. And if you missed our first episode on Orca, then we encourage you to go tune into that. You do not have to. We're just happy you're here one way or another. But in the first episode, we talked about our likes, our dislikes, and maybe how the film does or does not steal some inspiration from Jaws. So if you have the time in your day and you would like to hear about the things we really enjoyed or did not enjoy about the film, please go listen to that. But we are continuing our discussion, and as one does when continuing things, we are going to keep moving forward. We just finished having dinner at the Brody's. We enjoyed a little bit of red wine there. I just poured it straight into a fucking pint glass because I am a classy motherfucker. But I am not drunken enough to go out on the water. So we're going to go swing by the Amity Bar. So, here at the Amity Bar, we are just going to talk about booze for a little bit. Brian and I are both bartenders. We enjoy making drinks almost as much as we enjoy drinking them. Actually, there's actually a substantial difference in those two things, if I'm being completely honest. But Brian, what are you drinking tonight, buddy? Is anything out of the ordinary by any chance?
I had two drinks for the evening
Uh-huh.
to pair with this film.
Well, before you get to that, what are you drinking right now?
Oh, currently.
Currently drinking.
This is a lager from...
A vintage?
Yeah, it's a cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged.
Very cold, I'm grasping. Some might say the coldest beer out there.
Well, cold if you compare it to the Colorado Rockies, yes, which is a very cold climate for America.
Indeed. Yes.
So, one of the coldest.
Yeah.
This is a classic Coors Light in a can.
Coors Lightning! My, oh my, ain't it frightening.
Before that was, as we all know...
El Jimador! Only the finest tequila for the finest folks.
There it is. Yeah.
And pick it up at your local grocery store. That's fantastic, Brian. Thank you for that very eloquent description of one of the least eloquent beers ever brought to the table. I myself am drinking El Jimador! Along with a little bit of Simply Watermelon. It is a fucking vicious combination, and I highly recommend it. I say probably, if you want to play it safe, 50-50 split. If you're feeling ambitious, 70-30. I always encourage more tequila.
50% tequila, 50% juice.
I'm saying if you want to play it safe, that is the best mix. If you are feeling ambitious, do 70% tequila, 30% watermelon.
Jeez.
I understand some of you are concerned about your sugar intake. Obviously,
that's
if that is the case, you want to up the tequila, you know? Lower those calories.
Is it a martini?
I think that when making a drink at home, somebody asked me this at the bar the other night.
No shit.
They're like, "Do you like what's your count? Like, how do you pour it?" And I was like, "They're like, do you have a pour spout?" I was like, "Oh no.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I do it by glugs." I was like, glug 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 glug.
This is a great point. The other day, I was thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, what do you know?
Caribbean, sorry.
There you go.
When he said, "Pour me a slug of whatever."
Yeah.
Or he said. I think he said a slug or a sipper or something. Yeah. I think it was a slug because they're pirates. I think he was like, "Give me a slug of brandy or whatever." And
probably
and
rum.
What's his name? Yeah, and what's his name was like, "Wow, fucking whatever, doesn't matter." But I was just like, "Damn, that's some pirate shit right there." A slug.
A slug.
Which is like, to me, in my brain, when I heard it, I'm like, that's like half a cocktail glass. That's a slug. Like, it's more than a shot, at least 2 shots, to me, is a slug. Is that wrong? What would you say?
That sounds about right. When I'm pouring a drink for myself at home, so like we're dealing with like, this is essentially a pint glass.
Yeah.
I fill up my glass about 3/4 with ice. Once I pour the alcohol in, I like my ice to be floating.
That's a different slug.
That's a fucking knockout, my friend.
That's like a fist.
Yeah, it's a good fucking fist. Like, like a sipper is 2 fingers. We're talking.
Sipper is 2. Yeah, a sipper is 2.
We ain't fucking around, pal. Not tonight. I've already had 3 shots on top of my fists.
Okay.
Now, more importantly, beyond what we're just drinking tonight, if you were to have some friends over, all your friends and family, obviously I'm not going to be invited because you have, like, you know...
Well, you're not friends or family. So.
You got people that are, you know, very, you know, posh.
You're not,
you know,
posh.
You got your arts folks and your you know, family that, you know, they're all very tasteful, you know. But let's say you get them all over.
Who do you think I spent time
with? You're gonna get them all on the couch and you're gonna throw on 1977's Orca, the killer whale.
Me and my posh family on the couch. We're watching Orca.
If you were gonna have everyone over to watch Orca,
right?
What alcoholic beverage would you be serving these motherfuckers?
Stupid bitch. Okay.
You have two.
I do have two.
You always have two. Why can't you just have one?
Because I don't like having one. I got a posh crowd, alright? I got people to please. Alright? You need options. You can't give them one drink. This is high society shit. At least two. You can't just be a little bitch. Here's what you're drinking. No. Read the room. Dick, this is why you weren't here.
My apologies.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. 2 drinks. I just drink 18 fingers of El Jimador. Oh, you fucking talk to me. Shut up. Shut up.
It says it on the bottle.
First drink. The bitter Orca.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I don't actually know what it is.
What?
Yeah, I googled it. And
Did you need to be able to explain to the audience what it is?
It's a martini cocktail. Mostly gin with Campari in it.
Sounds lovely.
It also has lemon bitters with a lemon peel as the garnish. Yeah.
Sounds very nice, actually.
Right? It sounds very sophisticated.
Borderline Negroni.
I've never had it, but it does sound good.
Yeah, because...
gin based. It's equal parts gin and Campari, though.
Sounds pretty tasty.
Right?
I like the lemon.
Damn,
I like the lemon bitters. I don't think I've ever had anything with lemon bitters in it, so that actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, same. 2 ounces of lemon bitters. Twist of lemon peel as a garnish.
Yeah. That sounds fucking fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it would go well with our fucking vibe because...
I'm sorry, I fucked this up. The instructions: stir, strain, 1 big rock of ice, lemon twist. So it's not up.
No, that's even better.
This is a
man,
sexy cocktail.
I like that a lot. That's fucking fire, right?
Big old rock of ice. That sounds awesome.
I got fucking gin and Campari. I just got to get myself some fucking
lemon bitters. Sounds amazing. A bitter Orca is what it's called.
I dig that.
Yeah. I googled a little bit.
Solid play.
Just play around, and I was like, damn, that sounds good. My second one was...
Wait, don't tell me Coors Light.
Wrong. Aggressively. Also rude.
Shoot it from the head. Apologize.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Just maybe bullshit that bad boy and just don't run your mouth. It was a slug of J&B.
Ah, yeah. That checks out.
Yeah.
Read the room, There is a very prominent shot of our favorite scotch, J&B, just chilling in the background.
And also Ritz crackers.
Yeah. I feel like that's
and a lot of
just
scenes.
Like, if you were going to have everyone over, that would be what the hors d'oeuvres were. Just fucking 70s Ritz crackers. And a fucking slug of J&B.
Can you imagine being on a boat like that?
Yeah.
Down below, having a slug of J&B and a box of Ritz crackers.
It actually sounds fucking delicious right about now.
Right?
God
damn. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Ah, once I saw that bottle in the background and we talked about it, I was just like,
yeah,
that actually kind of seems perfect.
Yeah, I thought about going with J&B, but obviously, I played that card when we did our
you know
our
the crowd.
podcast
You
on
know
the
crowd.
thing. I myself went for something slightly more traditional. I'm gonna do a dark and stormy.
Ooh.
Which rum being the liquor of the sea. I don't even know how that happened, but rum is just like a ocean based.
I have a note on that, by the way.
Alcohol. Do tell.
Oh, just Captain Morgan fully rebranded. And they stripped away all their, beautiful, excuse me, a barrel and, bottle notes in their graphic. They went very two-dimensional. Now they have this, very two-dimensional pirate. And it's like,
I've seen their logo. It's not, it's very clean.
It's super clean. They chase the trend.
So,
Sad.
there is that. Yeah. But I noticed that.
I miss the pirate aspect, but please continue.
I am a big fan of a good dark and stormy.
Yeah.
So dark and stormy, for those of you who don't know, is really a play on the traditional Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule. A mule is essentially any is a cocktail that has a base of a liquor and then lime juice and is topped off with ginger beer. That is what a mule is. Moscow Mule became popular, I would say, probably in the 2010s, early 2010s is kind of when that really kind of blew up.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, it's a new resurgence for sure.
And that is obviously Moscow, meaning, it's vodka based. It is vodka, lime, and ginger beer. That is your basic Moscow Mule. Ginger beer is fucking delicious. You have many a different type of mule. You have a Kentucky mule that is, a bourbon based mule. You have a I think it's honestly just called an English mule, which is a gin based mule. I could be incorrect about what that is actually called. But you have a Hawaiian mule, which is a pineapple vodka based mule. So there's all varying degrees. You have a Mexican mule, which is based from tequila. And a dark and stormy is just a mule made with a dark rum. My preference would always be Kraken. I think Kraken's a very tasty dark rum. You
Good
do
choice.
Kraken. I would probably do a healthy serving, probably about
17 fingers.
we'll do 2 ounces of Kraken, probably about ½ ounce of lime juice, and then you add your ice and top it off with some ginger beer. I think the dark and stormy is typically a highball cocktail as opposed to a lot of other mules that are served in the copper mugs.
Yeah.
A dark and stormy is typically served in a pint glass or a Collins glass.
That's cool. I didn't know that. That's rad. That's
So
it should be.
I think it's a little bit more of a healthy serving, if you will. But this being a film that takes place on the high seas,
that's perfect.
I feel that a rum-based beverage is appropriate. But I am a big fan of your bitter Orca. I like that gin and Campari mix. I just gotta get my hands on
Gin Campari and some lemon bitters.
Lemon bitters, yeah.
Over a big old rock of ice, yeah. I like both those drinks, so they both sound good. I forgot about the dark and stormy. That's a killer one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
They're tasty, man.
Yeah, they are.
Tasty.
I like a lot of the Moscow Mule variations, but that's a top tier one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
rum just blends really well
It
with stuff.
does.
Rum's really
Especially
smooth.
with ginger beer and lime. God damn.
Yeah.
That's a good cocktail.
God bless.
Alright.
Well, I don't know about you, pal, but after 18 fingers of El Jimador, I'm fucking good and liquored up. But, there's nothing quite like a little bit of a nightcap to really finish things off. And I hear that the best nightcap on Amity Island is over at Quint's Shack. So here at Quint's Shack, we just have a very brief discussion about Quint and his counterpart in the film we are discussing, and which is the better great white hunter. So really, it's between Sam Quint and Nolan from Orca, and I really just personally think there's no contest. Nolan is arguably one of the dumbest fishermen I've ever seen put to screen.
Yep.
Right out the gate, knows nothing about sharks, knows nothing about orcas, knows very little about steering a boat because he kept on saying to port, right?
He kept yelling to port.
And the person was going the opposite direction.
Starboard. Yeah.
So
it was really frustrating at the beginning of the movie.
I don't know who was teaching the, person steering the boat how to drive, but one can only assume that it was Nolan. So, he, while both fail pretty miserably, nobody dies under Quint's watch. Besides himself.
True. Very true.
A lot of people die under Nolan.
And granted, he tries to not let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
His whole game plan when he went to the shed was, I'm going to do it myself. I don't want anyone involved.
Yes.
And the orca then attacks, and that's when the house sinks, right?
Yeah.
That was the beginning of him wanting to go by on himself.
Yeah, and you kind of see that the townsfolk are not going to let his people, leave or not go on the boat. The townsfolk, remember, Paul goes to the gas station to try and get gas.
That's right.
And get his
they're
tires filled
nah,
up.
you're with him.
Yeah, which is...
That's right.
Seems a little silly, but, I don't know much about Canadian fisherman politics, so
that
was a weird scene. That could be completely accurate.
That was a weird one.
But at the end of the day, I don't know, Quint seems far more competent.
Yeah.
The difference being is that Quint has killed many, many sharks. And he just so happens to come upon one that is greater than his experience, where Nolan just feels like he is out of his depth from the very beginning.
Yeah. Initially.
Yeah.
So far behind that pitch, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, right from the get-go. He just can't even fucking size the shark. Where, if you take those two scenes and put them back to back, where Hooper, the oceanographer, the person who studies sharks for a living and is supposed to be the scientifical one, calls out the shark and says that's a 20-footer, and Quint very confidently corrects him and says it's 25.
Yeah.
Just knows, without a shadow of a doubt. It's not even with Quint and Hooper's relationship being the, one-upping thing that it is.
Yeah.
That's not what that scene is about. Quint very much is, closer, sees it, and is like, no, man, that is a much larger fish.
Yeah.
Where Nolan can't even decide whether the fish that is 10 foot long, is 25 to 50 feet.
Or twice as long. Yeah.
And has clearly never heard of an orca. So, We're off to a very rocky start.
The man who's hunting a shark already is just, trashed. And now he's hunting something way more intense.
Yeah.
Just so aggressively out of his depth, for lack of better terms.
Appropriately so. I think at the end of the day, I'd much, much rather be on a ship captained by Quint.
Yeah, tiny one.
Even for all his hubris that ends up leading to his demise.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Speaking of being on a ship, we are on Sam Quint's ship and we are headed out to sea.
Yeah, baby.
Here at Out to Sea, we are just going to discuss briefly a little bit about the production and behind the scenes of the film. There's not a lot here. Even on the Blu-ray copy that we have from Screen Factory, there was only a commentary, which we unfortunately did not have the opportunity to listen to. But what we do have here will be taken from the Wikipedia page for Orca, the killer whale. So we just got to give a shout out to all those who contributed to the Wikipedia page and hope to God that this is more or less accurate. Because once we have said it, it becomes set in stone.
Right, baby.
So, production. Producer Luciano Vincenzoni, there we go, was first assigned to give the film a head start after being called by Dino De Laurentiis in the middle of the night in 1975. Odd. 1975? What? What could have possibly happened then? Upon admitting that he had watched the film Jaws, Vincenzoni was instructed by De Laurentiis to find a fish tougher and more terrible than the great white. Wow.
Yikes.
Having had little interest in sea life beforehand, Vincenzoni was directed to killer whales by his brother Adriano, who had a personal interest in zoology. Filming took place largely in Newfoundland during the fishing season. Most filming took place in the town of Petty Harbor, about 15 kilometers south of the capital of St. John's. Well, at least we know where we can move to when we retire.
There you go, exactly.
The main orcas used for filming were trained animals from Maryland of Pacific and Marine Land of the Pacific and Marine World Africa. In quotations, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I'm sure that's what it was.
Oh boy.
When it was bought out by Six Flags. Though artificial rubber whales were also used. These models were so lifelike. I gotta interject here. There are scenes and sequences in this movie where the whales are being harmed or dead or in danger, and I'm watching it going, I don't know if they actually killed whales to make this movie.
Yeah,
because
no, it looked good.
To the film's credit, the whales that they used in this,
Especially
nine times out of 10 look fucking really, really real.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually very impressive how lifelike it all looks.
Yeah.
Particularly if you were to compare it to some of the Jaws sequels and you see how fake those sharks look. These models were so lifelike that several animal rights activists blocked trucks transporting them, confusing them for real orcas. The shark used
early in the film was captured by noted shark hunter Ron Taylor. The scenery, meant to represent the remote polar region of Labrador, was fabricated in Malta by designer Mario Garbolgio. Garbuglia. That sounds better. According to Vincenaroni, Richard Harris had begun to drink heavily on set after reading a tabloid magazine and seeing a photograph of his wife and Turtle on the beach with a younger man. He reportedly intended to stop performing and fly to Malibu in order to kill them.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Damn, that took a very dark turn. Relenting only after getting into a brawl which resulted in Vincenaroni getting a black eye. The 46-year-old Harris insisted on performing all his own stunts in the polar sequences and was nearly killed on several occasions.
Sounds like he had a death wish.
What the fuck?
Listen, I know that this is all just kind of summed up in Wikipedia, but like every time any one of those sentences got interesting, it immediately jumped to something else.
Jesus Christ.
And I wish I had more to go off of.
Yeah, same.
But we don't get paid.
Good God, what the hell?
So, research is limited here on the Jony Jawcast. Oi. Yeah, that's wild. I kind of want to know. I might need to read more about this Richard Harris stuff. Find out if he ever did go through with trying to kill his wife. Reception. The film grossed $3.5 million from 775 theaters in its opening weekend and went on to gross $14,717,854 in the United States and Canada. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 9%. I added the fucking there. Based on 35 reviews and an average of 3.6 out of 10.
35 reviews? We can raise that up.
Yeah, we can give a little bit better. Come on.
We can bump that. Just
a hint. The site's critical consensus reads, content to regurgitate bits of better horror movies, Orca the Killer Whale is a soggy shark thriller with frustrating little bite.
Soggy.
I like that they call it a shark thriller.
That's what they call it, soggy.
Yeah, you would. That's a good word. We gotta start bringing soggy in.
Damn.
A contemporary review published by Variety called the film Man vs. Beast nonsense and lamented that fine special effects and underwater camera work are plowed under by dumb storytelling. You're not wrong. Richard Schickel of Time wrote that filmmakers behind Orca thumbed heavily through literature of the sea in search of dramatic cliches and called the film inept and suspenselessly shot.
Damn.
Gary Arnold of Washington Post criticized the film's special effects and referred to it as essentially a rehash of an early De Laurentiis hit, Death Wish, with a killer whale in Charles Bronson's role.
Death Wish with Charles Bronson sees a man whose family is murdered, and he goes on a fucking rampage to kill all those who hurt his family.
That's a Punisher.
Yeah. Not wrong. Orca has been unfavorably compared to Jaws. That's has nothing to do why we're discussing it on this podcast.
No,
Not even a little bit.
Right.
Both Schickel and Arnold drew comparisons between the films, and Bob Thomas of the Associated Press called it just another attempt to copy Jaws. David Kerr of the Chicago Reader called the film an incoherent blend of Moby Dick, King Kong, and Jaws, hindered by what appears to be extensive re-editing. However, Richard Harris enjoyed his experiences during filming and took offense at comparisons between Orca and Jaws.
Ow. Where are you taking offense?
Yeah, it's like, come on, buddy, I feel like you should know.
Play the game.
What you did there. Someone calls out and be like, hey, you ripped off Jaws. You'd be like, yeah, what are you going to do? I got paid to do a job, and that's it, you know?
I've never seen it, never heard about it. What are you talking about? This is an original story.
It's a movie about a
Orcas
dentist.
are crazy. Welcome to our world. Don't go in the water. Orcas are scary. Spread the word also, but say orcas. Sharks are pussies.
Sharks are pussies. You heard it here first, folks. Any other thoughts on behind the scenes? It's just wild.
Good
I
God,
just
no.
love that
No.
my boy Dino De Laurentiis, who is behind some of my favorite schlocky horror films, just calls up his buddy producer in the middle of the night. It's like, listen, it's 1975. Nothing super duper important is happening right then. And he's just like, hey, so great white sharks, fuck them, right? Find me a beast that's more imposing than a great white shark.
Old news.
And the buddy he calls just so happens to be like, dude, I fucking don't even give a shit about animals, man. I've never even cared about one animal in my life ever. And you're asking me to start caring about animals? Come on, man.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll talk to my brother who loves animals. He loves animals so much he became a zoologist. What are the odds?
Ready, go.
Movies are wild, man.
Jesus.
I just, I got nothing.
No.
We're
No.
all I got, the only
I'm at
thing,
my wit's end.
yeah, me too. I'm really just at this stage in the game, the only thing that I can say is we're gonna need a bigger boat. Here at Bigger Boat, we just talk about whether you would rather face off against the shark from Jaws or the orca from Orca.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is that to me or is that to you?
I mean, it's to both of us.
That's a big one, man.
That's fairly hard because you're unlike our last handful of things, you don't have the option of being on land.
Exactly. These are the top two. Well, as far as ocean goes.
I'm gonna go with Orca. I'm gonna punch that bitch right in the face. I don't give a fuck.
What? 22 fingers in. You're gonna punch an orca whale in the face.
Yeah.
That's your play.
I think I've made.
I pick Orca because I'm gonna punch it in the face.
I think I have made my stance on this.
Have you?
Fuckface abundantly clear, so I don't need to go into it any more than I already have. I'm gonna punch an Orca right in the fucking face. If that means I die afterwards, guess what?
You will.
I died.
You will.
Punching an Orca in the face.
You're going to.
That's badass right there.
I don't think anyone's gonna know that you punched in the face, but they'll definitely know that you died.
You will. You'll be on the boat after we've fallen off. Our cruise.
I can tell you this much. He definitely tried to punch it in the face. He is dead, and we all know that. But I can...
You can vouch.
I can aggressively tell you he tried to punch it.
I went out swinging.
He was underwater.
That's badass.
And he tried to punch it in the face.
Yeah.
Now he is dead.
Alright.
The news will say,
Do tell,
dead.
Sir, about how you would, what you would like to do, what your preference would be. Please, do tell.
I think I would go with Great White.
This Great White? That is a Great White in question, sir.
That's not ideal.
I think you're just saying that to be contrarian. I don't think you really believe that.
That's basically an Orca.
That's what...
Okay, no, that's feeding.
Yeah! One is substantially scarier than the other. Granted, both probably, have the same result, but one's just scarier.
So the Jaws shark is the same size as a normal Orca.
Yeah.
Correct, right?
Yeah, about, give or take, yeah.
Which is why you're choosing Orca.
I'm choosing Orca because he's fucking little bitch in comparison.
There's nothing a little bitch about it. They're both horrible. There's no little bitch in the equation. You're not gonna punch anything. You're not gonna fight off
I'm not gonna
anything.
punch that thing. I'm not gonna win. No.
Well, I'm not going to see anything gonna punch the other thing.
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Yeah, shit. You're dead. He's gonna swallow you whole.
He's not gonna swallow me whole.
Oh my
You
god.
see how he's taking
Everyone loses.
You saw how he took fucking Ken and Paul. He's just like grabbing them by like their arms and shit like that, and just like pulling them down. They were a bunch of little bitches that were unprepared to punch an Orca in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
I am prepared.
Right.
Give me a solid answer right now. I demand
I'm still gonna go shark. There are weaknesses. You're going up against a mammal. I'm going up against a fish. At least it has gills, a weakness. If it chomps, I can grab something at
How did that work out for Hooper? You remember the scene in the cage, right? You remember what that's like? What that looked like? When Hooper gets attacked in the cage?
Okay.
Just, you want to find yourself in that position? That's how you want to go out?
Doesn't he escape?
Yeah, but like this scenario, you don't escape. Clearly, we're both. That's what we're facing off against.
I'm just curious what we're up against here.
I don't mind going out like fucking Paul, who just gets like pulled down like a little bitch. But I'm gonna punch.
You're just looking at the biggest thing you can hit, or are you looking at survival?
I'm looking at what's the scarier thing before I die. And like
I thought we were going for survival here.
It's what would you rather face off against? I think the assumption is that we die. I don't think either one of us are surviving.
No, then I still want that one.
You want to get eaten by a shark? You want to get eaten
if I know I'm gonna die and I'm gonna face off but die, yeah, I'll take shark. I'm surprised you picked killer whale, honestly.
As I've said, I've made my thoughts on the shark.
You're picking something to face off against that you know you're going to die.
Yeah, the shark scares me. I'm scared.
And you're picking killer whale.
Yeah,
why?
I'm less scared of a killer whale.
Like the idea of being killed by it does not scare me at all.
It's basically the same thing.
No, that thing's...
It's just gonna chomp you up.
That's scarier. This is scarier. This is scarier.
Is it the way it attacks?
Yeah, there's that too.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah. And he's scary. I was scared.
This conversation has lost all value. Everything we're trying to achieve is just... God damn.
Yep. Well...
Okay.
You know...
We tried.
We did, you know?
Yeah, we gave it a good college try on that one.
We gave it our best go, and...
Pretty sure I won. Pretty sure you did, but...
What?
Yeah.
You won? What did you win?
I survived. And
you survived what? What did you
accepted defeat so early.
How did you...
You're a chump in this situation.
Please tell me how Please tell me how you defeated the Great White. Please tell me how you defeated the Great White.
You were a floating body in this situation. You were a distraction.
I said
and
I would
made
punch
it to shore.
the fucking
at this
organ.
point.
Yeah,
You're
welcome. Because I punched the fucking organ in the face.
You gave up so aggressively to try and punch an orca that didn't even want to eat you, that a great white showed up and was distracted, and they fought each other over your bitch ass and chilling on a hill, miles of elevation above sea level. So, good job. Look at us. Damn. Problem solvers. What's next?
So, here at the Yellow Barrel Awards, we're going to discuss some of our favorite parts of the movie and hand out some awards. So, our very first award is the Doll's Eyes Award, which is the best kill.
Ooh. Are you going first? Should I go first? Damn, I'm excited about this one. I have so many, though. There's not... a
lot of people die in this movie.
But not enough! As you would expect. Or at least I expected.
Almost every single character that we're introduced to, with the exception of Al and Rachel, died.
But that's the thing, I expected more, like, subsequential deaths. Like, I expected more, like, harbor shit was gonna happen.
Oh,
I thought things like that were gonna happen.
And shit like that.
Well, yeah, I thought it was gonna follow Jaws more. Like, you know, like, there are gonna be innocent kills, you know? I mean, not saying the people on the boat were innocent, or weren't innocent, but I thought they were going to be more involved with how aggressively they made it a superstition for the town. I thought it might kick that route of like, oh, well, now no one can go to the beach type of thing, you know?
Yeah, they definitely subverted that trope, but you know, that's probably for the better.
It really was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're gonna try not to be Jaws because you're obviously your own movie, yeah, makes sense. But one of my top ones wasn't a kill, and it was Annie.
Just like that leg getting bitten off, huh?
Yeah, it was like the most intense, most in depth. Things were happening. It was like an exciting scene. But, I mean, technically we don't know if she died. Because
no, she doesn't die.
Well, did we ever see her ever again?
No, but...
did we ever see her ever again?
Nolan specifically says that she's going to be maimed for the rest of her life. Like, says that after the fact. And it's very, like, kind of like
Who said that?
She lived. Nolan.
Where was he?
This is like towards the end of the film when they're all on the boat.
Oh, out in the Antarctic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely talked to her.
Yeah.
She's super alive.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when one of us pays attention to the movie and the other one's dicking around.
It just seems like maybe he has no fucking idea what's happening.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Maybe.
I couldn't argue with that.
I'm just saying,
I'm
they
just
got
going-
bitten off real high to the waist.
And it was
There's a
out blood.
lot of arteries.
It was
Well, not a
spurting
lot,
out
but one
But-
very important one up there.
Lest we forget the firemen were there like that.
And
so.
she was also limp, and so was the person holding
I'm
her.
just saying, by all accounts, in the film, she survived.
So anyways, her premature death scene was fucking intense.
Yeah.
That was like top
Great scene.
tier. Just as far as an attack scene goes. Like, they actually turned into something. Not just like instant chomp dead. But like,
Which is what
had something around it.
The deaths were.
Yeah.
A little bit more lead up because, like, if you think about Novak, Ken, and Paul, they all just like are like leaning over something and then just boom, boom, or fall, boom, boom, and like that's all it is.
Same,
all the same.
Same whale sequence, like, and then it does the kick turn,
Yeah.
and then they're attacked.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love. Excuse me. But I love that one specifically had...
Oh, I love the shot
shit
of
happening.
Like, after
I wanted more shit happening.
It bites off her leg. It's like you see it swimming with
swims away
the
with
fucking cast leg in its mouth. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
that's so
that's
good.
fucking
It was
gold
so
right
good.
there.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
Like, that's another step. Like, I wanted more to that. Like, I love the scenes of guys getting plucked off a fucking boat.
Yeah, fucking great.
Here for it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I just wanted, like, one more punch.
But they are kind
It's
of
like,
a
keep it going.
dozen in this movie.
Yeah. I'm like, give me a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Or just, yeah. So, that was one of my big ones.
My best kill is Orca fetus.
Oh, god damn it.
Hitting that fucking deck of the boat.
Jesus.
Dead and then
Ice.
sprayed off by Nolan like a fucking roach on a fucking patio with a hose. Yeah. That packs a punch.
That's your top kill.
That is the best kill of the movie.
It
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely is.
This is
I'm upset because you're right.
It is the most horrific thing that
It
happens
is-
in that movie.
God damn it.
No contest.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero contest. No, you're at 110% right.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. God, that scene.
It's aggressive.
God, it made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't even register it as a kill
No,
scene.
no. By the time like when
It's like Alien.
yeah.
Like, you stop registering them as, like, kills.
Yeah.
It's just, like, shit is happening.
Yeah.
Because they're so, like, you're involved in it. That was the most horrific but most involved scene
Yeah.
in the entire movie.
Yeah, I was originally gonna go with Ken just because the way he gets like fucking killed is
Sure.
pretty like, you know, like what the fuck just
Yeah,
what the fuck
it's
just
just-
happened? But the more I thought about it, I was like,
No.
no, dude, it's the fucking
Yeah,
it's the
impact
fucking
wise.
birth scene. Are you kidding
Yep.
me?
Nothing has ever hit me as hard from that scene as, like, watching Alien.
Oh well, that's
Obviously
that's
leagues
we're
apart.
talking apples and oranges at that point.
Leagues
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
But that kill scene is what it reminds me
Yeah.
of. That parody goes towards
Yeah.
Alien, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's almost like so intense. It's like just
This is 2 years
yeah.
before
You're
Alien.
just like, cool, here we are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The next award is the Hoagie Award, which is Brian's least favorite character. I say with a question mark because it's either his least favorite character or his most favorite character to hate.
It's a very fine line, actually, on this one.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. See, initially I had a very strong choice, and more recently, being my least favorite, it has to be our gal. It has to be our female lead.
She's so stupid.
She drives me nuts.
She's pointless. She's a pointless character. She's all she is.
What could have been is what brings her down.
She is just fucking there to just deliver exposition.
Yeah.
That's all she's there for.
And scenes where it doesn't help, it's aggressively voiced over.
Yeah.
And scenes where she should help and it's not voiced over, they're still horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just can't put the pieces together.
Yeah, I think she's a really fine actress. I just think that this role is
Her and the captain should have been.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong.
You need something relatable from both characters.
Yeah, and neither one of them.
And you can't touch either of them.
Yeah.
The whole time you're just like, God, I'm uncomfortable, I'm not attached, nothing's here, I'm disassociated to the entire thing.
Exactly.
Their whole situation is at an arm's reach.
Yeah. The Hoagie Award. The Hoagie Award. I miss the days. I miss the days of us being at odds.
Yeah.
With the Hoagie Award.
Right?
Because I feel like more often than not now we're on the same page with that shit. We're just both yeah, fuck this character.
Yeah, fuck him.
I still maintain that Michael Caine is the best part of Jaws Revenge.
God bless that stupid bitch.
Next, and I just feel like there's if you've listened to our first episode on Orca, then I really feel like that there's not going to be a whole lot of surprises for this next award.
Yeah. Come on.
This award is for the best lookalike.
Paul.
The person that Brian thinks looks like somebody else. The Barry Gibb Award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul.
You said looks like Barry Gibb.
You love him.
You love him. I don't know if I'm upset that you're recovering old territory or I'm impressed that you managed to find somebody else.
I'm really excited about it, actually.
Aggressively,
really excited about it.
Probably more so than Lance Guest did in Jaws the Revenge, actually. So.
As far as the legacy goes, I'm gonna let him have it. But damn, it's a close second. Damn. Oh, he looks so good. Yeah. Paul, you stupid, crazy-eyed son of a bitch. Also, what is up with the 70s? The blue eyes is just...
It's just some lighting, man.
Freaks me out.
It's how they would light shit.
Freaks me out.
Yeah.
That guy's got crazy eyes in every single scene.
You know, he's probably high on drugs.
Well, I would hope so, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we were high on drugs.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
couldn't hurt.
Anyone who has blue eyes, man, it's like the cast of Dune on a fucking boat. It makes me uncomfortable. Every time they're close up, it's just like beaming.
I don't know if it's uplighting or downlighting.
What is it called?
I think it's
not Spice. That's Star Wars, right?
And no,
it's fucking Spice in Dune too.
Spice.
Fucking Christ. Try harder. What? Star Wars is Spice Runners.
Yeah, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, look it up on your phone, but I think Dune might have been written before Star Wars was.
I aggressively believe that.
So I could definitely be wrong about that, but
God, I was just watching one of those shitty later Star Wars movies.
Which one?
Probably. I think it's the last one. No, I think it is. The second or the last one.
Rise of Skywalker?
I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly. But I just love that little dialogue when like it's Poe, Rey, and Finn.
Yeah.
And they have their little moment.
That's
You were a spice runner? And he was like, you were a stormtrooper? And she's like, you were a spice runner? And he was like, you were a scavenger? We can do this all day! And it's like, oh. Anyways, I love it. But spice, shit. That's what made me think of it. And I'm like, oh, Dune couldn't be spice, because Star Wars is spice.
Yeah.
And here we are!
That was a tangent brought to you by Brian Calvert Incorporated, ladies and gentlemen. And, we try and keep those to a minimum here on the Jony Jawcast.
Try.
When you're out at sea, sometimes you can't control where the tide goes, ladies and gentlemen. For our last award, we are gonna talk no overtime, which is the best effect. Which I personally am gonna have to give to the dead female orca. I mean, I looked at that thing like 3 Ways to Sunday and was just like, how did they get away with killing a whale? Like, I was very impressed with how good that effect looked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, legitimately impressed by that practical dummy. So
yeah, that was one of my top tier. The other one was more of just like, what are we doing in the bad effects realm? But as far as
so the opposite.
Yeah, of like, okay, cool, stop overimposing whales that are microscopic over normal size ocean. But no, the one you talked about is the one. Yeah. Specifically when they're like, oh, she's trying to kill herself, and like up against the props, and like the way they like sprayed things and like brought her on board too. Like, man. Yeah. They went all out on a good handful of scenes. Yeah. Went way all out. Where I'm like, is that where all the money went?
Maybe. Well, it seems that's where like all the editing went, Like,
yes.
You can definitely see
it
that
changes
there's
so
a
much.
lot going on there, and it's very well crafted, those scenes, to make it look like some shit's actually going down.
Right.
And that's, you're like, oh, cool, that's where they spent hours and hours of time trying to get this thing like dialed in and right, where you see other things and you're like, why are we listening to a voiceover of Rachel talking about how cold it is, and we see a shot of her shirtless lying in bed? Like, you're like,
and all this
that
fake
doesn't add up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Besides, I don't know, maybe look death right in the face and say, smile, you son of a bitch. Well, gang, we have come to the grand finale of our podcast, in which we give our final thoughts and rankings on 1977's Orca, the killer whale. Brian, why don't you take it away?
I always have to go first.
Okay, I'll fucking go first.
No, you go.
I
want you to take it.
while I was really expecting a much worse film going into this, after seeing it once many, many years ago and being fairly unimpressed, there was a lot I really enjoyed about this film. Again, it's hard to really kind of differentiate whether or not like I genuinely enjoy these films on their own merit, or if I'm just enjoying the experience, like watching it with you.
Right.
But like I said, some great cinematography, some really fantastic underwater like film, like stuff that they do with the the orcas, and particularly the stuff with the great white at the beginning of the film is really pretty spectacular. I love the bombastic nature of just this orca managing to set this small little town on fire, and him like biting off Annie's leg and shit like that, and just like killing Novak and Ken and Paul just like very unceremoniously. I think it's just so over the top dramatic, just like so like making things so much more profound than they are really, like when in terms of, you know, animals and men and shit like that. It's a very, very silly film to me at the end of the day. There's a lot I like about it, but I think as far as Jaws ripoffs go, I do think it's up there as far as like very clear, direct ripoffs. Obviously, we've read, you know, behind the scenes that this was like something that, you know, Dino De Laurentiis called up his producer friend and was like, hey, we need to rip this movie off and make some money, like stat.
Totally.
So as far as that is concerned, I would say this is definitely on the more interesting end of the spectrum. I think I'd probably give it a 5.5 out of 10 at the end of the day. It's certainly not a great movie. It does have some serious bright spots, but it does lag a lot, which hurts it. So much like human melodrama that is just feels forced and ungenuine, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So or disingenuous, I suppose, would be the appropriate term. So yeah,
Revengeful.
5.5.
5.5
for your old boy. What about you?
See, I was on the fence, and now it doesn't impact what I was thinking, but I liked it. I liked the way they went about it, and it could have been more, which is the only big hold off. Because obviously we're comparing it to Jaws, and I wanted it to be more, and I wanted the story to be more, and where that was lacking hurt so much, and everything else is rad.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. It's the 70s. You do what you do, but when you stand it up next to something like that, it's obviously gonna suffer. But man, I love the story, and I thought that it was just stupid and fun, and they, you know, did what they could with it. But yeah, it's lackluster at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's still a fun watch, and I actually went higher. I went 6.5.
Damn.
Yeah. Just because, you know, it's that creature feature, and I want to watch it, and if it's Jaws inspired, I'm gonna want to watch it. And if that's what it is, then cool. And if the story isn't there, that's alright. Like, you know, the genre's in it, and yeah, I was behind it. It was fun. I dig it.
Yeah.
I got 6.5. It was interesting.
I agree. A very interesting film.
Stupid enough to watch.
Lots to enjoy, even in the midst of some really ludicrous choices. So I guess that rounds out to a solid 6 out of 10 for the Jony Jawcast for Orca. Well, guys and gals, if you are still with us, well, we are certainly appreciative of that. I know Brian and I are both heavily intoxicated at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell, I'm pretty sure you fucking can.
You couldn't. Nope.
But we are very, very happy that you stuck it out with us. This has been one that we've been talking about since very early on, so it was pretty awesome to get it covered. And you know what? It was between this and Tentacles this time around, which means that, guess what, gang? A film that neither Brian and I have seen.
Yeah!
Which is a rarity for this podcast.
Yes!
Next up for the Jony Jawcast will be Tentacles, a Jaws ripoff that has to do with a killer octopus.
Yeah!
So, it sounds pretty dope to me. I'm here for it.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
But until then, we are wishing you motherfuckers a very farewell and adieu. I am your host, Jony Horror, one of your hosts anyways, and with me my first mate on the USS Jony Jawcast, Brian Calvert. And
yeah, baby.
We will see you motherfuckers on the flip side. Adios, muchachos.